If we get to that particular point, Mr. Speaker, then I'll be requesting the House that we vary the timetable so that we have morning sessions and sit, depending on how much work the committees will generate. If there will be sufficient business, because the danger, Mr. Speaker, as has been observed, is that you call for a morning sitting and you find yourself with very few members here. So as we begin, Mr. Speaker, I'd wish that members, especially through their committees, once they are formed, you generate sufficient business. And if there will be justifiable reason, we will consult as a leadership from the minority and majority side, and we'll agree on what additional time we can meet. We can either agree to do the morning session, or like our colleagues in the National Assembly, we move it beyond 6:30 on certain days, and we will agree. So we will sit up to the 27th of October, then we'll proceed on the 28th of October to the 7th of November. This is a season through which we want to take senators through the second phase of induction. You know, Mr. Speaker, when we went for our first induction in Naivasha, there were many strange things that were being said. And you could see my friend Sifuna following through, nodding, but he didn't understand what exactly was being said. I'm sure now that you have sat in the House for about 2 to 3 weeks, you have many questions. There are things that you wish we could do, you think we will do better if we change certain aspects. So the SPC is proposing a second induction session for senators from the 28th up to the 7th. We'll agree on the dates and the venue and the rest of the details, so that members, after having sat here for about 1 month, I'm sure there are many things that you'll want to question and say, we propose. We know traditionally, one of the things that I struggled with as a new member in this House is this thing called traditions, that you're told, oh no, you can't do that because these are the traditions of the House, blah, blah. I'm sure with a much vibrant and a more younger Senate than it was back then, there'll be a few adjustments, and there are things that we can agree and choose to do them differently, Mr. Speaker. So that's part of what we shall be doing, of course, together with other things that we didn't cover during the first phase of induction, between the 28th of October up to the 7th of November. Then we shall resume, Mr. Speaker, on the 8th of November, all the way to 1st of December, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the afternoon. And we shall then proceed for the usual long recess that covers December through to January, and be back here in February, Mr. Speaker. That period is important. Of course, you know, Mr. Speaker, that this coincides with a period where members are usually very busy, not necessarily in the chamber, but outside in the field. Those of us that are sportsmen, and many of you are, I have seen them want to participate in the East African Legislative Assembly Games. The tentative timetable that I have seen takes the games towards the end of November. And this time I think the games are being held in South Sudan. It's a turn of South Sudan to host. So I know there are quite a number of senators who would wish to participate. We will still take a decision at that particular time. Of course, the notice that I want to give early, Mr. Speaker, is that, and you know, Mr. Speaker, we have benefit this time that you are not only our Speaker, but you have been a very reliable team manager for Bunge Football Club. And you know that we have latecomers. You find somebody like Senator Cherargei, just who shows up 2 days to the date of travel. And because they want to travel, they say that I used to play number 9. You know, those are not the kind of things that we expect. Or you find people like Senator Kinyua, who all over, out of the blues, because they've heard that there's a trip to Arusha, and there is other business that they want to do there, Mr. Speaker. They introduce a funny game and say, Mr. Speaker, I play darts. I want to go and play darts in, you know, we want to be
Senator Kinyua, what is out of order? You know, you are so interested
Mr. Speaker,
the other businesses that you go to do in the
Mr. Speaker,
games.
This House knows very well I am a good footballer. I play golf, Mr. Speaker. And both games are in the Senate. Mr. Speaker, when the majority leader says there's other things that I go to do to Arusha, can he substantiate which are the other things I go to do, apart from golf and football?